After what was an absolute blowout of a win in Game 1 of the finals where Kauhajoki won by over 20 points, the series came to solo for Game 2, and unsurprisingly the Vikings' turn with home court advantage proved to be all that they needed to secure their first win of the finals and tie it up at 1 apiece. Game 2 brought us many great things, but 3 things stuck out. Jeremiah Wood was awesome, that's number 1. Marcus Lovett was awesome, that's number 2. And number 3, the Vikings have the personnel to put on the clamps and have games like they did in Game 2 of the series where they held Kauhajoki to under 60 points. But starting with Jeremiah Wood here, he would finish the game with 17 points and a game high 5 assists. So he's really been on a roll in the finals so far, and this man is just too skilled in the post. In the first quarter here, Wood is playing face up to the basket, and he just bullies his way to good position, and that's just too easy. He only scored 4 points in the first half, here's the other basket, but he really got to work in the second. Here on the other end of the court, again, Wood bullies his way into the paint. He gets his left foot into the restricted area, and that's a shot he's been making for years. But the big fella's also got a lot of finesse. On this post up, he starts at the left baseline again, but that quick spin move got him right by his defender. I say it's too easy for Wood because it is. Here he makes the same move, this time on a different defender, but the result is exactly the same. And at this point, he's just toying with his defenders. This is a third spin move off the left baseline in a row. Same exact result. And to finish the game, Wood made 2 identical looking post-up drives that end with little hook shots. And that capped off an offensive masterpiece in the post from Jeremiah Wood in game number 2. Marcus Lovett Jr. though was also amazing all night during game 2. He went out for a game high of 21 points, including 3 of 4 from distance. Starting us off midway through the first, Lovett is just too quick with the ball in his hands. His defender loses him for a second, and that's enough time for a transition 3. That speed and ability to change gears is too much to handle. His defender here is always on his toes, and that's free throws. Here's that gear change again. He has a big guy switched onto him, and Lovett is simply too fast, and he reaches out his arm on this layup to avoid getting his shot blocked. This time it's a catch and shoot 3, that's money, and I honestly don't even know what to say about this isolation. I'll let his moves speak for themselves. Notice here on the inbound pass, there's 4 seconds left on the game clock in the third. The inbound is on the other end of the court, but that 4 seconds is more than enough for the speedy Lovett to get the ball out of his hands for a layup with plenty of time to spare. For his final basket of the game, Marcus Lovett is just dancing out there. His confidence is so high at this point, and that's all he needs to hit nothing but net. Now, as for the defense of the Vikings, it was a lot of scrambling around and denying easy baskets inside and forcing the Kauhajoki to live on outside shots, and it worked. The Kauhajoki finished the game shooting just 5 for 30 from 3. The only player who played up to par on offense for Kauhajoki was Simeon Carter. He had 12 points on 6 of 7 shooting. And he's been an amazing lob threat all season for Kauhajoki, and game 2 was more of the same. He finished multiple alley-oops, and overall he was unstoppable once he got the ball inside, but the Vikings eventually caught on. After halftime he scored just once, and the Vikings denied him the ball as much as they could, forcing Kauhajoki's perimeter players to take tough shots from the outside. And the Vikings just played with too much energy on defense. They made every single shot such a hassle to get off, and the Kauhajoki shooting just 5 of 30 from 3 makes it pretty clear that their scheme of denying the ball inside for easy shots was a perfect plan for the Vikings to turn around this series and tie it up at 1-1. That plus Jeremiah Wood and Marcus Lovett Jr. lighting it up on offense made one heck of a bounce back game. From a blowout loss in Game 1 to a blowout victory in Game 2 for the Vikings.